Excuse me, Chris. Just an intro. So we find ourselves back here again, and we will continue coming back again and again and again to fight for the right for our farmers to grow GM-free and the right for us to eat GM-free. I mean, what could be simpler than that? And we have been very grateful. Right alongside us in our campaign have been the WA Labour Party. Former Labour Agricultural and Food Minister Kim Chance's legacy of caution still prevails, having been adopted by Shadow Agriculture and Food Ministers Mick Murray, Paul Papalia and now Ken Travers. We're thankful to have had the support with our current petitions, and we're asking for inclusive review of the Act and the introduction of farmer protection legislation. So I'm pleased to invite Chris Tallentire to accept our petitions for the Legislative Assembly.
Janet, thank you very much. It's a real honour to be able to table this petition. I know it's going to be a rolling petition. There'll be more signatures to come, 874 already tabled, more signatures to go in. I want to begin though by acknowledging the traditional owners of this land that we're meeting on, people who have been the custodians of this land and looked after it so well for thousands of years. Now our role in that custodianship is being tested. Yesterday, the Minister for Agriculture, the Honourable Ken Baston, gave notice that he wants to repeal the GM Crops Free Areas Act 2003. And as Janet mentioned, that's an act that Kim Chance, a former Labor Agriculture Minister, brought in to protect us from the uncontrolled use of GM crops. We're going to be opposing the repeal of that legislation because there's no evidence to suggest that the long-term feeding trials into the safety of GM foods, there's no evidence that that has been provided. There's no evidence that the market, the consumer, actually wants to eat GM product. And until all that has been provided, we'd be fools to weaken the current controls. I want to also acknowledge, though, the people who have been leading this campaign, working on it for so many years. People like Julie Newman, Steve Marsh, Janet Grogan, Shirley Collins. There are so many people who've done such a tremendous job of working on this campaign, getting the message out there. I also want to pay tribute, though, to that work that Kim Chance did when he was Agriculture Minister, and the way Mick Murray tenaciously fought on with the campaign in the 2008 to 2012 period, and then he was followed by Paul Papalia, who again courageously fought on. And now Ken Travers is our Agriculture Minister, a Shadow Agriculture Minister. Darren West, who works in the Honourable Darren West, a member for the Agriculture region in the Upper House. Darren West, my Legislative Assembly colleague, Simone McGurk as well. Your Labor members are doing their very best to keep this message out there that the time has not come for GM crops in Western Australia. We have the canola crops, and even there, when you look at the premium prices that you can get for producing a GM-free product, you have to say that the market demand for a GM product just isn't there. So the idea of people wanting to buy a loaf of bread that's made from GM wheat, it's just not there, that demand, compared with the demand that would be there, that is there already for a loaf of bread that is made from wheat that's GM free. Western Australia has the potential to keep our clean and green image, our GM free image, our reputation intact. We mustn't lose that. So you can rely on WA Labor to continue this fight. When the Honourable Ken Baston's legislation makes its way through the Parliament, Labor members will be opposing it and raising all of the issues that you'd expect us to make around the failure for the safety, health and safety aspect to have been fully proven, around the failure of the marketability arguments to have been proven. So those points, we hope, will help people see reason. We know that there are National Party members in the Parliament who in the past have gone on the record expressing their opposition to GM crops. We hope that they will remain true to their words and not be compromised by the alliance that they've formed with the Liberal Party. It seems that we have a state that is currently being run by a Liberal Party that is only interested in short-term profits. This legislation is about protecting Western Australia for today and into the future, making sure that we don't make mistakes, that we honour our obligation to be good custodians of this land.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.